What's up, guys? This is Soundwave Jordan here, and we are back once again with some more Darksiders Genesis news. And as you guys already know, if you haven't heard, Darksiders Genesis has been announced some time ago during E3 2019. That's right, guys. We have a brand new Darksiders spinoff, and pretty much it's going to be a side story regarding Strife, who is the gunslinging horseman, and we're gonna also be having a War as a partner in crime throughout the game. And Darksiders Genesis, what makes this game different is the fact that it's going to be an isometric type Darksiders game, meaning that the gameplay aspect, or the camera view, whatever you want to call it, is going to be more of Diablo-esque, where it's overhead. And right now we're going to be talking about the gameplay, as you guys can clearly see right here. What I noticed throughout the Darksiders Genesis gameplay is the fact that the game it's initially Darksiders. It still feels like Darksiders, and it still resembles Darksiders. However, the camera view, as I mentioned, is isometric. It's above you and all of that. So as you guys can clearly see, we have a bunch of gameplay, and there's an E3 demo regarding Strife and War. You guys get to swap them out anytime. You guys get to play as whoever you want to play as. You can either play as Strife or War and mix up your combos as you play as each of these characters. And what I noticed and what I'm liking about it is the fact that although the game is a different direction, it kind of makes sense for what it's trying to achieve. It's still Darksiders, and you still have your air combos, you still have your combos, you still have your enchantments, you still could pick up, your little items and the souls for your currency. It still feels like a Darksiders game. However, the only difference really is the fact that it's, like I said, it's just a different camera view. But at the same time, the game looks crisp, it looks fine, and actually doesn't look so bad to play. My only concerns before was the fact that I was worried that the game may not feel like Darksiders, or I just wasn't sure if it's going to be fun. But after watching this whole entire gameplay demo, in which I will be leaving the link inside the description, I can easily say that I'm even ooh, I stuttered, sheesh. But I'm even looking more forward to this game. It looks interesting. I can't say I'm too excited yet, but what I'm really happy about is the fact that it still retains the original Darksiders elements. It still has that Darksiders feel. But something I do want to talk about is the fact that the gameplay feels a bit slow. I don't know if that's just me. I mean, just watching it, the game feels a bit slow, and I know that the Darksiders games, they have some fast combat. I mean, with recent Darksiders 3, the gameplay was a bit slower than usual because, they kind of wanted to go the Dark Souls route, even though they offered you guys the chance to play the original route of playing the game, whatever. Darksiders Genesis, although it feels like a Darksiders game overall, it just feels a bit slower, at least watching the gameplay. That's not something too bad, that's nothing too bad. I'm hoping that they could perhaps increase the combat speed to make me feel, unstoppable when I play as a horseman, because, although I already feel unstoppable, I want these combos to feel fluid, fast, just me doing my combos. But besides that, like I told you, the gameplay feels nice. The world itself, the whole dungeon, it still retains its dungeon elements. We have some returning faces, such as some of the demons we've been facing in all the other Darksiders games, and it's pretty darn awesome. Another thing to actually be happy about is the fact that executions are making a return. That's right, guys. If you guys haven't noticed, executions are actually back in the game, where you can execute your enemies with your favorite horseman. That wasn't in Darksiders 3, and that was a huge no-no by the Darksiders community, because we want an executioner. Darksiders 1 and Darksiders 2, you had awesome executions by Death and War, and each of them had their own style of doing their executions. And Darksiders 3, when we were playing as Fury, well, that was gone, and I was kind of upset about that, because I would like to see how Fury executes her opponents. And it's kind of disappointing. But besides that, executions will be making a return. You still have your wall climbing elements. You still have yourself jumping through pillars and other pillars, traversing the world of Darksiders, and that's what I'm really happy about. I'm saying it over and over again, but I'm really happy that the fact that the game still feels like Darksiders. The only thing different, and I said it already, is just the isometric view. And of course, one of the other elements that will be returning is the puzzles. You still have your constant puzzles throughout each of the dungeons, and I feel like Gunfire Games, they wanted to do their best to make this game feel like a Darksiders game. One of my concerns, however, is the fact that, will this happen with potentially Darksiders 4? Will Darksiders 4 have an isometric view? Now, I'm not so sure if I want that, because you know, with an isometric view, I feel like it limits the games to its full potential. But I guess it's too soon to tell because this game hasn't even released yet. So as we come closer to the release date of Darksiders Genesis, we'll see how this game turns out in terms of reviews and just commercial success. But right now, overall, the game feels like Darksiders. It feels like the Darksiders games we've been playing all along, with returning elements such as puzzles, such as the dungeons, such as executions, and of course, a brand new character that we've seen before, Strife. Strife looks freaking awesome. He uses 2 knives with his gun-slinging guns, whatever you want to call it, and he feels cool to play. When you shoot with his guns, it looks a bit jagged, kind of like he's a robot, which is kind of weird. But of course, the game is early in its stages, so there's time for improvement. The game does feel a bit slow, at least in my opinion, and I would like to see if they could actually increase the combat speed tenfold to make the gameplay feel flawless, awesome, fast, fluid. You know, these are just some of the things I want. And lastly, from what it seems, Strife does have a demon form, as that's pretty obvious. You know, we've seen it with Fury, War, and Death, and it looks like Strife will be having the same thing. I couldn't find any sort of gameplay where he actually activates it. It's just on standby. Maybe it's not ready, maybe it is. I'm not so sure, but I am looking forward to seeing it in action. That being said, guys, that's all I really have to say for today's video regarding Darksiders Genesis. So far, I'm liking the gameplay overall. It looks pretty darn awesome. I do hope for some improvements, minor improvements, but that's just me. I wonder what you guys think, however. Tell me your thoughts down below. Are you guys liking the gameplay so far? Are you guys hating it? If you guys are hating it, what improvements would you make? And if you guys are liking it, why do you like it? The game does feel like Darksiders, and I'm pretty happy about that. And I'm happy that Gunfire Games is doing a little experiment with the Darksiders franchise, and I'm hoping it stays successful as we get to see more Darksiders titles in the future. That being said, thank you guys for watching nonetheless. I'll leave the link to the gameplay demo inside the description, and I'll see you guys in the next Darksiders Genesis video. This is Sour Jordan here. Peace, late, and I'll see you guys next time. I'm out. Have a lovely, awesome, splendid day.